Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today. Probably one of the most interesting stories I've ever come across, at least in all the times I've been doing this. And that's probably not entirely true, but listen to what this is. This is a picture from the folks over at boldrides.com with a little help from Hanson Art. And they put together this particular photo, which is a vehicle that's going to be supposedly built by the Jeep organization. That's actually based on a Fiat Punto. Now, this particular model looks an awful lot like a Golf R from Volkswagen, and apparently that's exactly what this car is all about. They're talking about the Jeep and whether they're actually going to build this thing or not, but it's pretty doggone entertaining, and I'll put the link to boldrides.com if you want to take a little bit better, closer look to this picture of this vehicle and see what they have to say about it. But they're basically talking about that Jeep may build an actual little hot hatch at the lowest end of the, basically like a rally car, if you will, for the street. This vehicle having a 2-liter Tiger Shark turbo 4-cylinder, putting out 280 brake horsepower and all-wheel drive. Now, why would I even talk about this? Because this car excites me a tad bit. This is a pretty neat little automobile. Hot hatches really aren't the rage here in the United States like I wish they would be, even though they're gaining quite the reputation so far, at least over the past several, well, maybe a couple of years. So this would be a fantastic little automobile, but I can't imagine the Jeep brand going in this direction, but at least it is entertaining, and I'll put the link, like I said, if you want to check it out. Another little turbocharged rally-inspired monster is the Mitsubishi Evolution, which actually hasn't been sold over the past year or so. But it's going to make a triumphant return in the European market in this particular model, which is the brand new Evo 10, brand new kinda, being in the FQ-440 MR. This particular vehicle is put out to celebrate Mitsubishi's 40th anniversary of building automobiles. Now, this vehicle comes with that standard 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, making 440 brake horsepower and 412 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 60 numbers come in at 4.5 seconds with a top speed of 186 miles an hour. Now, pricing on this machine is going to be a little bit pricey. 50 pounds, or I should say 50,000 pounds sterling is what this vehicle is actually going to cost, which comes in US dollars at 82,900, which is pretty doggone pricey. But it's going to be pretty exclusive. They're only going to build a handful of these for 40th anniversary of Mitsubishi. Triumphant return of the Evo. Next up on the list, we talked about some different variants coming out of the brand new F-Type. And in an interview, one of the heads of Jaguar itself actually came out and said they're actually looking into building a club sport version. Basically, a track day version of this automobile. They're going to try to really shave some pounds. They want to shave over 440 pounds out of this particular automobile. One of the ways they're going to do this is the vehicle will not be available with that 5-liter normally aspirated V8, and they'll be going with a supercharged 3-liter V6, which they're claiming right there will save 156 pounds of weight in this particular automobile. Now, this particular engine's no slouch. It's going to be making 380 brake horsepower, 339 pounds-feet of torque. And this vehicle, they're still talking about maybe only making a limited run of maybe only 500 units. They say that's at least how much they're going to have to build to make the lightweighting actually affordable as far as for the entire lineup. So this Jaguar F-Type lineup is getting more interesting by the day. Can't wait to see what Jag may have up their list going forward. And last up on the list, and one of the weirdest stories I've heard since that Jeep story, this is just a bizarre situation. There's a fellow by the name of Sammy and his father, Oliver, and that last name is Wasman. They were a couple of, well, basically Sammy was the one that actually put this deal together. He put together a Ferrari fan page up on Facebook. Well, the fan page actually apparently just exploded. Got tons of likes on it and things like this. And it really got up there so high that Ferrari actually wanted the page for themselves, which is kind of odd in my mind because a fan page is not extremely difficult to put together. So Ferrari supposedly came to him in an email and said, hey, we want to take over administration rights over this particular fan page, which he, Sammy being, and his father Oliver, thought, you know what, we're quite honored in this situation, and brokered somewhat of a deal with Ferrari monetarily for them to actually take over. Well, apparently this has never taken place. They never received a dime from Ferrari. And now there's a lawsuit. And then now Ferrari's countersuing. Ferrari's suing on them over actually using the site to actually sell non-brand name Ferrari items, actually off-brand Ferrari items, if you will, including some stuff for his birthday and whatnot. Sammy's only 21 years old now. Started the page back when he was 15 years old. Now, the other side of the argument is pretty doggone entertaining, and the folks that wrote the article over at topspeed.com made a pretty big point. They're looking for damages, Sammy and Oliver, that is, from Ferrari. At least they're looking for damages as far as their supposed 5,500 hours of work that they've put into this Facebook fan page, and they're asking for $11 million. $2,000 an hour to actually work on this page. I tell you what, Ferrari, if you need somebody to work on your fan page, I will work for $1,000 an hour. Yes, that's right, half the price. In fact, if you want lock, stock, and barrel, you can have my Motor Cars Facebook page for a measly $1 million if you'd like it. So, very interesting situation. Something that I've never ever heard before. I don't actually know why Ferrari would want to take over somebody else's Facebook fan page. And the whole thing just doesn't really make a bunch of sense. But it is locked up in the courts as we speak. And we'll see what comes of this moving forward. But very, very entertaining. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page and like us over there, we'd appreciate that. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.